Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Now, I do enjoy watching a Unicorn player rampaging around the map, owning face in a tier 10 tank as much as the next guy. And those are good videos to watch because you can learn a lot from them if you know what you're looking at. At the same time, however, I do recognise that most people watching these videos don't own tier 10 tanks, and the only time they're ever going to see a tier 10 tank is when it's shooting at them. So, at the same time, I do like to feature the little guy doing well, and that's what we've got today. This is J2 in the T-37 American Tier 6 Light Scout Tank, and the matchmaking here is about as good as you can possibly expect to get in the T-37. This is a Tier 7 game, but the vast majority of the tanks present on both teams are Tier 6. Also, it's a great map for this tank, lots of wide open spaces, lots of concealment, although the concealment is terrain rather than vegetation. Plenty of space for this tank to stretch its tiny little legs. Unfortunately, that's about as good as things are going to get from this point on, because as you can quite clearly see, J2 is having a hard time figuring out which way he's going to go. The entire team, with the exception of one Skoda T40, is lemming trained down the western end of the map. Initially, Jay was thinking, well, screw it, if I can't beat him I may as well join him, but then his conscience overruled him, and he decided he needed to go and help out that Skoda T40 over on the east and spot targets for the artillery, the Bishop and the S51. However, the Bishop that we just saw him passing there appears to have decided, screw this, I'm out, after seeing the team lemming train down the western flank, and he appears to have quit the match. There's the T40. All on his lonesome, with only J2 to back him up in the T37, and hopefully the S51 if he knows what's good for him. And yet, they haven't made contact with any enemy tanks on this flank yet. They've made plenty of contact with enemy tanks on the other flank, but nothing over here. T40 hasn't spotted anything. Jay's got the superior view range, so he... hang on mate, I'll just pop the ridge and have a look. Nope, nothing. And that's when they spot their first customers. An AMX-12T and a Sherman Jumbo heading down the middle of the map. And the 12T is taking advantage of the AFK Bishop to farm an easy kill. Two fully aimed shots from J2 and they both miss. The 76mm gun on the T-37, not renowned for its accuracy. Rapid firing, but not accurate. In fact, it fires so quickly, it's almost like having an autoloader that doesn't have to reload. Finally hits and scores some damage on the Jumbo. Squeezes off a second shot at the Jumbo, and it did hit, but we don't know yet whether it penetrated and did damage, and there goes the Jumbo, not, strangely enough, using the howitzer, which is quite unusual for the Sherman Jumbo, instead using the 76mm gun, but now he's managed to get over the railway embankment and in concealment and cover on the other side. And still no enemy tanks on this flank. Could this be a classic case of the double lemming train? It does seem to be, and yet the enemy lemming train seems to be a lot stronger than our lemming train because the scores are 3-7, and J2's team is losing quite badly. What are you going to do here? If this flank's wide open, you want to go down there and exploit the open flank and get in, kill the enemy artillery and hit their tank destroyers, but at the same time, they've got two tanks threatening their base, the Jumbo and the AMX-12T. Panzer 38 NA there, coming back and doing a good job spotting the Jumbo. Jumbo is dead. Unfortunately, the 12T finishes off the Panzer 38. So he's just fired at least two shots. How much ammunition does he have left? Jay's going to go and find out. Oh, his gun is pointing this way. That's not good. First shot actually goes in. 12T plants a couple of shots. Oh, he's going for the Skoda T40. Is he going? Does he have? He does have the ammunition, but now he's almost certainly shot his bolt. He's got nothing left, and J2 finishes him off. And it's at this point where the Skoda T40 decides to start yelling at J2 for being an idiot. And that's about right, isn't it? J2 is the only player on the entire team who bothered to back you up, so you have a go at him, because that makes perfect sense. Meanwhile, the scores are now 7-12. Max stops to aim, pulls back, avoids the shot. Going to take a couple of shots to finish this guy off. Yep, that one missed. And that one didn't. He's stopping. He must be loaded and ready to shoot. Oh, hold on. Finish off the Hellcat. Yes. Now the Max. Trying to get around him, but the Digger Max is ready. He gets one shot into him. That hurt a lot, took half his health off, but he is easily, in this very, very agile little light tank, able to get around him and finish off the Digger Max. There's just J2 and an M6 left, and the M6 is pinned down by a T1 Heavy and a KV1, and let's not forget, there are also 2 artillery on the enemy team, as well as an ARL V39, so the M6 at the moment, unfortunately, is on his own. And it's around about now where J2 ends up being on his own as well, because as predicted, the artillery took out the M6. 5 versus 1. J's only real chance here is to take that 5 versus 1 battle and turn it into 5 separate 1 versus 1 battles, and then as quickly as possible make that 4 separate 1 versus 1 battles, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. Now, that's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be as hard as you might think, because the 5 surviving enemy tanks, none of them are particularly quick. Some of them are likely to be heading for the cap circle, which means it's unlikely that they're going to be in a position to back each other up, and of course the fastest way of making sure that 5 against 1 becomes 4 against 1 is to go for the artillery first. So he's going for the GW Panther. He has of course been spotted, so if anybody's coming back to back this guy up, he doesn't have long to kill him. And it's probably safe to say that Jay was sweating a little here as he tried to pull that move off, and up KV1 spotted coming back to defend the artillery, and almost hit the artillery as he missed Jay there. Jay has to get out of line of fire of the KV1, ducks down into the low road, dodges the shot from the GW Panther, getting out of there, but he needs to kill the GW Panther before he breaks and disengages. He's going to take one more shot, he slows down to ensure, and he's got the kill. And there's a shot from possibly the AMX-13 artillery. I don't think the KV-1 actually had a shot at that kind of angle, but let's not stick around to find out. The KV-1 is heading this way. Oh, hang on a second. There's the T1. Oh, that one missed. There's another artillery shot. Finishes off the T1. Remember, he does not have sixth sense here. The only way he knows he's been spotted is when somebody starts shooting at him. Now, they are being capped. He's managed to kill 2 of them, the T1 Heavy and the GW Panther. He's leaving the KV-1 in his dust, although by the sound of it, let me just switch to free camera. Yep, it looks like the KV-1 did take a shot at him as he beat a hasty retreat. So, with the KV-1 all the way over there, he can't be the one capping, which means it's either the artillery or the ARL V39. It's not both of them, there's only one tank in the cap circle. He's going to pop the ridge and find out. And it's the ARL. And he's seen him, fires a shot, dodges the return shot, and yet he doesn't pop back up again to take the killing shot. He's going to beat the guy's reload, no question about it. He would kill the ARL V39, but he doesn't. He breaks and disengages. Why is that? Well, Jay's put his thinking cap on. The KV-1's no threat. He's too far away to do anything for the next minute or so. But the enemy artillery isn't, and right now has nothing better to do but cover the ARL in the cap circle, and if he would have seen Jay pop up, and is going to be aiming at that exact same spot, waiting for him to do it again, so he can punch his ticket for him. So Jay puts his thinking cap on, and instead, because he's got plenty of time, sneaks around. There's the ARL, there's the kill, cap reset. 6 kills. There's a potential Radley Walters up for grabs here. Now, did he get spotted when he took out the ARL V39? Without sixth sense, no real way of knowing, so let's not take any chances. Let's keep moving. No, by the sound of it, yep, that was an artillery shot. He did actually get spotted. And that also, of course, means that the artillery was covering the V39 in the cap circle, so Jay did exactly the right thing by not popping up and taking the kill on the V39 when he had the first chance to do it. Now, of course, well, they knew where he was, they don't know where he is. He could be doubling back, he could be heading around this side. He needs to kill a KV-1 and an AMX-13 artillery. Now, the artillery's not going to be such a problem. The KV-1, however, is, particularly since Jay has elected to go down this side of the map, where his superior view range isn't really going to be of much help, because if he does run into that KV-1, it's probably going to be at very, very close range. He pops up onto the ridge just to see if anybody's trying to advance across the middle of the map. Fingers crossed there are no KV-1s lurking around these corners. And he hasn't been shot at by anybody. No sign of the artillery, no sign of the KV-1, and oh, there we go. Somebody's capping. At this point, that could be either of them. We don't know for sure whether or not it's the artillery or the KV-1. Jay did crest the ridgeline up here in order to see if anybody was advancing across the middle of the map, but that road that runs north-south through the middle of the map is a sunken road. It's entirely possible that the KV-1 could have advanced across the centre of the map in that road and remained undetected. So the only way Jay's going to find out who's in that cap circle is to go and take a look. Is it the artillery? Is it the KV-1? And then just as he passes the wreck of the Stuart Emil, there are now 2 tanks in the cap circle, so he knows he has both of them to deal with. Okay, that complicates matters. Let's have a look. Doesn't see anything. Wait, there's the artillery. Come on, Jay. Yep, there's a hit. Again, remember, he doesn't have sixth sense. Act as if you have been spotted. Pulls back. Second shot. Yes, he's killed the artillery. KV-1, still in the cap circle. Almost certainly is aware of from which direction the shots came, even if Jay wasn't spotted, and has a whole bunch of dead tanks to hide behind, and the 76mm gun on the T-37 is not accurate enough to aim for weak spots, and Jay doesn't have the time to do anything sneaky. And so, of course, the KV-1 doesn't even have his gun pointing the right way, is sideways on, tracked, his engine is on fire, and that's a Kolobanov's medal and a Radley Walters medal for J2 in the T-37 American Tier 6 light tank, as well as some lesser medals like Ace Tanker, Defender, Top Gun, High Caliber, you know, that sort of thing. Jay ran through the entire spectrum of emotions during the course of that game. When he saw the loading screen at the beginning, joy when he realised that he was in a Tier 6 light tank on steps in a Tier 7 match, utter despair when he realised that his team were doing their level best to throw it all away for him by all doing the lemming train down one side of the map, with the exception of the Skoda T40. Cautious optimism when he realised that, against the odds, the entire enemy team had also lemming trained down the same flank. Pants on head terror when he realised he was alone against 5 enemies. Extreme performance anxiety when he realised that he had a potential Kolobanov's medal, his first ever, and only his second ever Radley Walters medal, as long as he didn't screw it up. And then, of course, once again, joy and exultation when he managed to pull it off at the end. So, Jay, thank you for sending that one in. I really enjoyed watching it, and I hope you guys did too, because that's it for today. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.